A man is great exactly in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow men. This is how Mahatma Gandhi ji described the true character of a politician or bureaucrat, and this is how politics began in India. Hi everyone, I'm Lovepreet Kaur from Punjab, and today I'll be sharing my views on the topic post-mortem of politics. Politics of post-independence India is a blend of turbulences and accomplishments. Right from the rise of leaders and change makers to the formation and growth of political parties and a national consciousness, Indian politics has went through a lot of major changes and crises with the aim of national integrity and vibrant economy. Although it's impossible to describe the entire journey in just 3 minutes, but I'll try my best to give you a glimpse of how politics in India has evolved and as to why today, unfortunately, we have to talk about post-mortem of politics. India had too many troubles on its plate to deal with right after independence, starting from the communal violence post-partition to unifying the princely states together as one country and one nation was quite a lot of task for those who just came into power. In this situation, the adoption of constitution to make India a sovereign republic and democratic nation was the first and, in my opinion, the best step towards stability. The Nehru administration rightly got the credit for introducing a planned economy and initiating industrialization. Nehru was one of those who did not only establish Congress as one of the most viable political parties back in the day, but also spread the message of welfareism, which in my opinion is synonymous to what politics and governance should be like. Although nation building was the primary goal in the initial phase, the political phase kind of was marred by some dark patches, and the nation was slowly seething under the burden of unemployment, food insecurity, and inflation. This was the time when a lot of other things added to the pressure. The emergency of 1975, the Sikh riots of 1984, the 2001 attack on the parliament, the Gujarat riots of 2002, and the Mumbai terror attack of 2008. So many other unfortunate incidences, all of them together put a question mark on our communal harmony, on national security and India's defense system. That was the time when the government realized that we also need to work in this direction. And since then, we are still working hard to strengthen our military, our defense and the harmony. Soon after that, the 2G scam that happened and the corruption allegations in the Commonwealth, all of these just brought inside the ugly cases of graft and questioned the very basis of our politics. The moral soul was ripped apart with the atrocities of authority and power. The criminalization of politics and religion-based politics, which is the new trend, led to the communal politics lose the moral soul. The madness of power, the authority and the greed of a common man completely distorted the meaning of what politics and politicians is. There is also a greater intrusion of media in the personal life, I feel. And what they serve is just degrading and not enlightening us. Now, when the pillars of the nation, i.e. the law, the governance and the media itself are in a question mark and are weak, then what can we expect from a nation? Secularism of India, the identity of India, of welcoming all religions is vanishing these days. It's replacing by lynching. The secular has become secular in the language of social media, and that is caused because of the group-wise ranking of human development. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, friends. Only and only if politics works as an instrument of national integrity rather than working as religious identity. Thank you so much.